Hello, I'm Randy Ball, and this is Pico Boulevard. In Santa Monica, Pico starts at Centinela and goes all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And it is a very diverse street. The Pico Improvement Organization is a group of merchants here that promote the business atmosphere. We call ourselves the Pico Passport. I'm a member. And this is my store, the artistic picture frames and the Blue 7 Art Gallery. Come on in. The Pico Improvement Organization is a group of merchants on Pico Boulevard that want to improve the business climate. We found that there are 6 or 7 groups of businesses, and we thought that it would be better to emphasize one group at a time rather than try to emphasize everything at once. The galleries got together and had a few meetings and decided that one event that we thought would work real good for us would be an art walk, so we jumped at the chance to get the Pico Passport to help us put this together. Pico Boulevard is a working street. Art is actually created here. Painters paint, ceramicists throw their pots here. Pico Boulevard is the workshop of Santa Monica. So we want to carry this idea forward with Pico Artists at Work. We made arrangements with Virginia Park to have an art pavilion there, and they were happy to have us have the local artists from the neighborhood be a part of that site.
The PIO was looking for community involvement in the art show so that residents could be a part of it, as well as the members of the galleries all along Pico. And we had the idea together that we have a teen center at the park among other programs that we have at Virginia Avenue Park, and it would just be a natural match for the young people who are learning art here at the park to be able to display some of their work.
The park was absolutely full of local artists. There was a band playing. Wood carvers were carving. Graffiti artists had a special surface, which I think was painted over 3 or 4 different times. Initially, we thought we'd have about 15, maybe 20 different locations on Pico Boulevard. But by the time we went to press, we had over 35 locations and people still trying to sign up. When October the 15th got here, a lot of people said that they had never seen the sidewalks of Pico Boulevard so filled with people walking up and down and going into stores. The Shampoo Lounge did a photo shoot. At Artistic Picture Frames, we had Ursula Fox making assemblages. In the back, Leslie Neal showing children how she turns wooden writing pens on a mini lathe. She explained how she makes the wood look like fudge ripple ice cream. The Unurban Coffee Shop had a muralist painting. The coffee shop also had a performance artist, and she was covered in paint by the end of the performance. Make Believe Costume had a face painting exhibition on the sidewalk, which was perfect because Halloween was right around the corner. Santa Monica College, which is the real artistic powerhouse of Pico Boulevard, the Office of Community Relations funded the glass blowing shop. Terry Blumberg and her students demonstrated the blazing process of creating art out of molten glass. And the college won 3 different categories, first prize. After the success of the Pico Artists at Work, we were looking for the next group of businesses, and the logical one was the auto business. There are more auto-related businesses on Pico Boulevard than any other kind of business, and Pico has a long auto history. At Pico and 11th, there was a business, Bob Path Motors, and he made and raced hot rods. His father worked for a Franklin car dealership on Pico and Main, and that was back in the 20s or 30s. We got permission from Morgan West to use one of his classic Morgan cars as a logo. The Engler brothers said that they would sponsor one of their clients' classic cars. And then Betty Macias, the park director of Virginia Avenue Park, asked us to be a part of the Cinco de Mayo festival. And when we told her that we were thinking about doing a classic car, she said, sure.
We put our heads together and figured out that it would be a good blend to have the art show, Cinco de Mayo, with all the entertainment. And then on top of that, you brought a car show, which we had never had at the park before.
And then she introduced us to Andrew Gomez, which was serendipitous because he is the proud owner of a Chevy Fleetline and a real classic car enthusiast. He knows many of the collectors in Los Angeles.
When Betty Macias there at Virginia Park first introduced me to you and Paul Collins and, of the Pico Passport, it was such a pleasure working with both of you.
The response was overwhelming. We filled the parking lot with classic cars and vintage cars. And the park had music there and traditional and indigenous dances and food and bands playing. It was wonderful.
I know the mayor of Santa Monica was there, as well as 2 lieutenants from the Santa Monica Police Department. They entered their classic cars, and one of the lieutenants actually won 2nd place in this year's car show, as well as the Santa Monica Police Department has a 1960s police car in which they entered.
It was a fabulous response. The phone was ringing off the hook after the event because people wanted to know, number one, how can I get my car in there? And number two, they felt like it was the most fun event they'd been to in a long time.
People who came up and approached me and thanked me for helping to put on such an event. They just thoroughly enjoyed coming out and looking at the classic cars, seeing art, walking around at the park. I really think that more events like this in Santa Monica would bring the community as a whole together.
The Pico Passport is now planning the 2nd annual Pico Artists at Work, and it's going to be bigger and better than it was last year. I believe that it's these events that encourage and emphasize cooperation among the diverse elements that bring business to Pico Boulevard and unify the community. If you're a merchant, we want you to participate in some creative, artistic part of your unique business. And if you're a visitor from Santa Monica or Los Angeles, we want you to come here and see the many different creative things that happen on Pico Boulevard every day. Viva Pico!